Hey guys, welcome back to another video that is not War of the Visions, but today I am covering Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent and just give my thoughts on the game, give like a small review, and maybe do like a small account overview, I guess, at the very end, just to see like what my account looks like after 22 days or so, I think. Around the 20 days mark, but yeah. Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent, COTC for short, or COTC, whatever you want to call it, in my opinion is a very great game, especially for being free. Just to preface everything, my history with like the Octopath Traveler franchise or series, I've never played it before. I never played the original Octopath game, but I was always in love with like the 2.5D style. Square Enix calls it 2D HD, and I really wish they like implemented this style into the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I know they did for like the FF6 opera scene, but that's really it. And I really wish they did it for like all of the games, but can't have everything, unfortunately. It probably takes a lot more work as well. But yeah, so I have no history with Octopath Traveler whatsoever, but I still have like a good amount of JRPGs under my belt. And yeah, I do know that COTC is quite similar to the original Octopath with like the enemy weaknesses and such. I do know that the original Octopath only had 4 travelers in a party, like most RPGs, but for COTC here, you do have 8 party members, which is very interesting in my opinion. It's a very unique take on the party system of an RPG game, so that's quite interesting to see. And I do know there's like another gacha game out there called Another Eden that's very similar to COTC, and I did play it before, but just with Another Eden I never really fell in love with it. I think mainly because of the art style. I think art style and art direction of games can be very important, so yeah. I did play Another Eden before, but I never really got into it as compared to COTC here. So yeah, that's the preface. So let's get right into the bulk, I guess. So in like a few videos back, like 2 videos back, I called COTC a JRPG with gacha elements, and I know this like statement has stirred the community a bit because it definitely is still a gacha game, but I think the JRPG aspect of the game heavily outweighs the gacha aspect of the game. And overall, to complete and catch up to the story right now, it takes about 60 hours to beat like the Master of All storyline. You first do like 3 different storylines, and then you do 1 main storyline, and that's what the content is really up to now. And all of that takes about 60 hours, and those 60 hours are very engaging and very fun gameplay, I'd say. And the story is incredible. And not only the story, but the music in the game as well is amazing. I do know that like the composer for COTC is the same for the original Octopath game. And for COTC, it does use like some of the same OSTs from the original game, but it does have like its original tracks, such as like Decisive Battle 3, I think, and then like the different boss themes for the different paths you take. So the music is really good as well. I'd say it's definitely top tier comparable to like those $60 JRPGs that's releasing nowadays. So really good music, really good story, and yeah. On to like more story aspects, I guess. This gacha game is unlike any gacha game in terms of story, I'd say. Whenever you're in cutscenes, there's no skip button or log button or like autoplay button. It's just a pure screen, and you have to be engaged with what's going on. And I think that's a very bold move by the developers. Just because most gacha games nowadays, they do have that skip button, they do have that like log button if you like missed a dialogue, but COTC has none of that. At least I think it has none of that. I know that if you like die to a boss and you go to that boss again, you can skip that cutscene after you watched it once, but in most cases, once you watch a cutscene, it's gone forever, unless like you die again and then you can watch the cutscene again, or you just go on YouTube and watch the dialogue again. But there's no skip button, there's no like memory book where you can rewatch the cutscenes, and that's a very bold move, I'd say, but I think it works really nicely. And that also goes with the statement at the launch of the game. When you like open the game, it says, it has like this disclaimer. It says, this is a JRPG that's gonna add content over many different periods, so enjoy it at your own pace. And I think it really hits the nail in that statement, I guess. So yeah, it's very, for a free JRPG gacha game, it's a very good JRPG. And for gacha though, onto the gacha part, I'm pretty sure many of you are interested on this part, but the gacha in this game is definitely not the best, and I wouldn't recommend it to people who solely play gacha games for the gacha aspect, like the gambling aspect. A lot of gachas nowadays are just like waifu collectors, and this is not one of them, because it feels like it takes forever to save up to a pity pool, and as a free-to-play player you can only rely on step-ups for guaranteed 5 stars. And yeah, the gacha in the game, definitely not the best, but with that being said, you don't need like all the 5 stars in the game to beat the story. I'd say you only need like 1 to 2 5 stars, and then the rest you can fill out with 4 stars, and you'd go through the story just fine. But in terms of like end game content, like the arena and such, I'm not so sure in that aspect, because I don't play like the JP version or anything. I don't really know how hard the content is going to get, but as of right now, it's definitely doable with just a couple of 5 stars and then 4 stars. I think one person in JP has beaten the game with the 3-star octuplets, so like you can do whatever you want with it, but yeah, you just don't need 5 stars. It's really for like the really hard content, I guess, or if you really like the character, or if you like have connections to the character with the original Octopath. But yeah, I guess that's all I had to say about the gacha. In terms of future outlook, I will be continuing to play the game. I'm just preparing myself right now for like harder content in the future, farming innocent weapons and such. And right now I'm preparing myself for the battle-tested NPCs. which are the level 85 NPCs. I'll probably do a video on that, I suppose. But other than that, yeah, Octopath Traveler, Champions of the Continent is definitely a game you should try out. It's unlike most gachas, I'd say. And I'm gonna say it again, but it is a JRPG with gacha elements. It's still a gacha game though, but it's a very good JRPG for being free. So, with that being said, let me just get onto the account overview. Okay, so here I am in my nameless town. Everything's complete. I do have my nut farm all the way max, and that's one thing I recommend to all players, is to max your nut farm as soon as you can. And yeah, I am free to play like most gacha games I play, but I have been enjoying this game a lot, as I've already said. So just going to look at my party here, as you can see, my band name is the 8th MS team. If you know what that is, I'm very proud of you. We can be friends. And my playtime is at around 85 hours. And I did say that I did beat the story, or just like everything up until now, at like the 60-hour mark. But you can probably beat it faster than me if you really rush for it. But around like the later chapters of the Master of All storyline, it gets really hard, and you probably have to farm a bit, just like most traditional JRPGs. What is a JRPG without farming? But yeah, really good story, as I've already said. And yeah, so getting into my travelers, these are all of my travelers right now. Quite a few. I'm still missing I'm still missing a good few, I'd say. And the only 5 stars I have right now are these 4: Lynette, Fior, Sophia, and Tressa. My Tressa is at 4.5 stars, which kind of sucks, but she's been a party staple, I'd say. And Fior and Sophia, I did get them from the 5-step, and then recently the compensation was just released, and I got a dupe Fior, and I do have a dupe Lynette, but I'm saving that for her level 10 special skill. And yeah, other than these 4 5 stars, I've been using these 4 stars a lot, like Sigrid, Wingate, Lucetta, Shelby, Cedric. Where is he? Where is Paradeer? Hello? Paradeer? Oh, he's right here. Paradeer. Paradeer is really good for exploration, just because he reviews one weakness of all the enemies, and it's really nice. Until you like find all the weaknesses, then he's a bit useless, I'd say. But yeah, this is probably the main team I use the most. As you can see, I only use Tressa, Lynette, Fior. I don't use Sophia in this team, just because Sophia is more oriented towards like skills and magic attacks. And for this team, what I usually do is just like boost, attack, switch party, boost, attack, like the Unga Boonga method, you know. But when I get serious, like with the battle-tested NPCs, I am working on a team like this right now. I'm trying to use Sophia as a main DPS against the battle-tested NPCs, and I'm just using like fodder units just to break the NPC and get them exposed, I guess, for more damage. And I'll probably set up a couple more teams like this for the other NPCs as well, but this is the only team I have right now. And yeah, I say and yeah a lot. I'm noticing that, but I do have like a wealth team here just for the hunts, a fame team for the hunts, power team for the hunts, and so on. And I'm currently working on the hunts that have the merchant attribute, just to get that sacred seal of the trader. Just pray to RNGesus, but I have not been getting it whatsoever. It's probably a very rare drop, but hopefully one day I'll take Tressa to 5 stars. And other than that, I don't really have much to show in regards to my account, but as you can see, I am at 22, 21, 22 influence. I'm sitting at 1.4k, currently saving for Cyrus, just because that's like the talk of the community, I guess. Save for Cyrus, he's really good, so I'm saving up for him. He looks pretty good as well. He does have like 3 elements and such, and he seems pretty strong, but I highly doubt I'll have enough to save for Pity, just because they're really going off rails with the schedule right now. You'll never know who's coming next. And yeah, so that is my account. Very short account overview, but it's something to show, and I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you enjoyed my review as well. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.